Hey sewing friends, welcome to my channel. I'm continuing on my quest to sew garments that will actually be worn. Things that maybe have a little bit of style and look at least marginally current. And they'll make it out of the closet more than once every 6 months or 2 years. I've just finished this shirt and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. In my last video, which is linked up here, I told you about this sewing retreat that I went to, and I showed you the t-shirt that I made on day 1 of the sewing retreat. There were 2 more days, so I had time for another project. And what I decided to make was a simple woven shirt. What I've been seeing a lot in stores, and I've been seeing people on YouTube wearing and on Instagram, is basic crisp cotton shirts or cotton blend shirts, woven shirts. The classic white button down. Now I don't wear white because the lack of color isn't great on me, but I do like that look. And I've seen it a lot more recently, especially on women who are our age, and people are tucking in shirts and wearing them in ways that I hadn't considered, and I kind of like that look. So I thought that's the direction that I wanted to go. Add another option in my pattern stash for some of my wovens. Here's the pattern that I chose. It's McCalls 7360. This is 2 or 3 years old, and it's a tunic pattern. Another tunic pattern. I didn't really want to buy a new pattern, and I had this in my stash. And there's one thing about the tunic that really fit what I wanted in this pattern, and that is here. Because it's a tunic, you don't cut all the way down the front bodice, so you don't have to match the print on the fabric. And that's one of the things that I wanted for the print fabric that I have in my stash. I didn't want to have to try to match a print. I wanted it to just be able to take advantage of whatever fabric I have and show off the print if I wanted to. The other thing that I liked about this compared to the tunic patterns I had is that this has long sleeves with cuffs, which is great for cooler weather. I did an actual toile, cut it out of muslin and marked it all up. I cut a size 20 because that corresponds to my upper bust measurement, and I used 1-inch seam allowances everywhere so that something could be added if needed, was needed. And then I let Ron do whatever he thought that he needed to do to fit the pattern. So the changes he made, as with the t-shirt, he did a high round back adjustment. And this pattern does have a yoke. So he added 1/2 inch at the top of the yoke. Having worn this a little bit now, I think I could use a little bit more, and I'm going to alter the pattern so that I've got 3/4 of an inch at least for the high round back adjustment, because it's just pulling a tad. It's not terrible, but it's pulling a bit more than it could. Ron, in the previous video, I'll link it again up here, Ron showed me a different way to do a high round back adjustment. Then he dropped the bust point an inch, only an inch, which surprised me. And he brought in the shoulders an inch because the 20 is quite large on my shoulders. And because of the shape of the sleeve, he said we didn't need to change the sleeve. So that was fine. Then I shortened the pattern quite a bit. I had cut the tunic length, and it was the long tunic length, and it was, it was to the middle of my thighs, I think. So I cut it 6 or 7 inches shorter. You'll see it in a picture. And then the final thing that I did, that he suggested I do, remember I told you that I used 1-inch seam allowances? Well, we used 3/8 of that extra seam allowance. So we wound up adding 3 inches of diameter circumference from the arm side down, which just gives me a little more leeway, which is exactly what I want. And then I transferred his adjustments to the pattern pieces, cut it out, and sewed it. And it was a very simple thing to sew. This year, I'm trying to do, or this fall at least, this fall and winter, I'm trying to do things a little bit better. I'm trying to take a little bit more time and try to incorporate some different techniques into my projects so that I'm making things that just look a little bit nicer and not rushing through projects. And there were a couple of small things that I did differently on this particular project. I'm editing the video and I'm going to jump in here because I'm noticing something that you might be noticing too. When I have the buttons undone on the placket, which is probably my preferred way to wear it, the neckband looks huge. When the buttons are done up, you can see the neckband is not too big. Also, when the buttons are open, I get a couple of folds of fabric right here, and they disappear when the placket is closed. So for that reason, I will be wearing this buttoned up. Something I'm thinking of for next time. If I'm using a print fabric, I would use a contrast fabric, maybe a solid, on the placket, just to add some visual interest. The pattern calls for a facing around the neck. I don't like facings. And for the last couple or 3 projects that have called for a facing, I've just used a piece of bias tape, and I did the same thing on here. I cut a strip of bias from this pattern, and I just used that around the neck instead. And I think it's much neater, and you don't wind up with that little bump or a stitching line down here. So I just have a stitching line where the bias is attached. And I think I'll always do that if I can, if I've got enough fabric. I barely had enough fabric for this pattern, but I did have a piece that was this long so I could cut a strip of bias. The second thing that I did is something super simple, but given that this has a front placket like this, it's actually going to make a difference. And that was, this is so simple, you're going to laugh at me. When I sewed the buttons on, I looped the thread through the hole because these are shank buttons. And that meant that when I started stitching from the front, I stitched from the front. The knot is underneath the button, and I did not sew through to the back of the placket. So if I'm wearing this open and it flops open, I want it to flop open, there are no stitches on the inside that will show. And that's one of those things that can kind of make things look homemade and not handmade. The front pocket is interfaced, and when I stitched, I caught the interfacing. So, and these stitches don't, or these buttons aren't going to get a lot of pull or abuse, so I don't think they're likely to fall off. But those are the 2 little things that I did differently on this project. There is a story to this fabric. In September of 22, I went to Sew Over 50 Frocktails in Edinburgh. And a bunch of us went to Edinburgh Fabrics one day, and I bought this fabric there. This is a cotton lawn. It feels very nice. Sewed up beautifully. And this was really the only souvenir that I brought home from that event, except for my goodie bag. And I have been hanging on to this to sew it up in something that would be a little bit more timeless. And I did want to sew it so that I would have it to wear in November, because the print is poppies, and November is poppy month in the Commonwealth countries. And although I'm not going to any Remembrance Day ceremonies, just thought it would be a nice thing to have to wear in November. The print, although it's a floral, I think it's something that can be worn year-round. And with the long sleeves, it's certainly something that I will wear when the weather is cooler. I can wear this with a jacket or pullover, cardigan, over a t-shirt. It will get a fair bit of wear, I think. I think I picked the right pattern for it too, because I just couldn't see this in a print. I'm just kind of over princessing shirts at the moment. Today, anyway. I'm wearing this tucked in. I haven't tucked in anything in like 25 years. But I'm seeing a lot of people who are tucking in shirts. That's in a lot of the over 50 women styling videos. They say it's something that makes you look younger. And I have to say that when I look at pictures with tunics sometimes, I think that it would be nice to have an option that has a little bit more shape, especially something like this that's straight up and down. So I've tried tucking it in. And wear it with jeans. And these jeans don't have a belt loop in the back. I would actually wear this out of the house. Surprise, surprise. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I would love it if I had my 21-year-old flat stomach. But I think it's kind of nice because it is giving me a bit of a waist. So I may just wear this tucked in. Now, untucked. Let's see, I'll pop in some pictures. But untucked, it's like this. And I don't know. I think tucked is gives me a little more shape. It's my styling thought for today. I've only sewn one other thing in the last week or two, and it's Halloween today. Happy Halloween. The cat's veterinary clinic has a costume contest every year, and so I made her a little costume. And I'm not going to wake her up and make her model this because that will make her quite cranky. But I've got some pictures I'm going to pop in over here. I made her a little dress, a little Halloween dress, and used Halloween fabric and used my newly acquired skill to make ruffles for the neck and used my newly acquired skills for piecing to piece the skirt so it's all even. And the other thing I did with this is to gather the skirt, I used dental floss. And I zigzagged over the dental floss, big long zigzag over the dental floss. And that worked really well. Cat's dress. She's not going to any parties tonight, so she will wear it to the vet this afternoon and show it to all of them. And she hates it when I make her clothes. This is McCalls 7360, and I feel like I made a really good choice at the sewing retreat by focusing on a couple of basics. Now I have two patterns, one for knits and one for wovens that I can sew up quickly, and unless there's a big change in my shape, I will know that I will have a good fit. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're watching this on October 31st, happy Halloween. I will see you again soon. Take care.